What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part, I want to say 29 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tiktaq'to Immortal Empire's expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, a bunch of battles including the rather tough Shield of Eons quest battle for Gorok, tough mostly because it's an escort battle rather than the foes face themselves, especially since you have Nakai there to help out. Otherwise, we ended the last episode with us going into another attack from an enemy Ogre mercenary pile, apparently hired by the Kislevites to deal with us, and of course being eaten for not paying them, which is an amusing aspect to this story. Anyway, we haven't fought a lot of ogres in this particular campaign, so we may as well enjoy doing some now. Mr. Girth, you're about to get a lot thinner. Let's go. Alrighty, here we go, ogres in the desert. Always nice to be back after the Cetra campaign to these nice and visible battles. Anyway, as usual, we're going to start off by moving towards the Lord to get a little bit of sniping in. The projectiles from the Lord are primarily only really good for that, and, you know, things like Mournfangs and single entities, but of course, we do have bombardment coming in from our ancient salamanders, and the Nobblers are going to have a pretty bad day. Over all the way on the right flank, we're focusing one of the most critical units that we have to destroy here, which is that a unit of man-eaters with ogre pistols, as these guys are going to be able to snipe salamanders or the skink oracle. Very much a threat to pretty much anything. Otherwise, the enemy lord is in very bad shape already, down to about 15% of his HP thanks to the expedition chief, who will now back off unless he gets charged by the unit of ogre bulls with dual weapons. In the meantime, though, that major threatening unit of the ogre pistols are pretty much done for and are now at the very least going to book it on out of there. They may very well come back, as they do still have 12 units in their... or 12 models in their unit. We may need to chase them down with our chameleon stalkers. Looks like about a third of the enemy army is peeling away to head towards where our Saurus and our Croxagors are holding, but we've got other big problems to deal with. Namely, we've got those Mournfangs to focus down, and the other critical unit to destroy, a little bit less threatening than the man-eaters, in theory. But mostly only because Mournfangs are relatively slow, and we are going to be able to slow them down even further, such that they're not going to be able to get a charge in on our chameleon skinks. And there we go. With that, the Mournfang Cav is out. We switch now to the Gorgers, which are the next most threatening unit, while the, obviously, the regular piles of Ogre Bulls are not nearly as threatening. Snakes are slithering around all over the place from that Sotek Vortex effect that we are able to drop with this army. And it looks like a unit of Sabertusks decided to charge, but unfortunately the charge was taken by the Yamaboro, which are not really threatened by them at all, and tore them to shreds, and then the Kulkin Riders moved in to help out to destroy them, and will now be chasing them down. Our Salamanders, ancient Salamanders I should say, are continuing to annoy the enemy, well, whichever unit they can target really. Nobblers are pretty much out of there, so the relative lack of splash damage now means, or the, you know, on the monstrous infantry, not going to be the most effective anymore, but all good. On the bright side, with many of the major threats dealt with, the enemy has little to no chance in defeating the Saurus or the chameleon skinks, especially, or stalkers I should say, especially with those great big sacred Croxagors helping out. The mounts power has shifted to about 90% in our favor, and ooh, the enemy lord and drops thanks to the expedition chief once more, moving into range. And it looks like the Ogre army is done for. Lovely. That's not the only thing on the field, of course. There are still the things in the woods and the Hag Mother coming in as reinforcements. We're just going to obliterate them real quick. There we go. Things in the woods are pretty darn fragile. A couple of decent hits from those ancient salamanders, who are basically out of ammunition, admittedly. And there we go. Looks like we knock out one with each hit. One more hit from each salamander, and those guys will be done for. But it looks like they're booking out on out of there. Ooh, and that one simply burned, and this one might survive. Not that it matters over much. It's going to be burning for another 11 seconds. But all good. Guess we're just going to have to target the Hag Mother now. And, ooh, looks like it's going to drop before reaching the escape there. Alright, on to the Hag Mother then. We've got the Expedition Chief, who's also almost out of ammunition. Huh, that's kind of interesting. This army is really quite reliant on some of those things, and they do run out of ammunition rather quickly. Clearly, the Expedition armies are probably not going to be particularly effective against armies with multiple armies at once, I should say. Anyway, Hag Mother is pretty badly beat up now, down to 45. Okay, just as I was saying 45 HP, she dropped down to maybe 15%, and then one more hit from the... Oh, wow, I have never seen their death animation. Huh? Oh, it did that thing where... Okay, I actually have seen that one with the spider. I didn't see the bird one, though. Huh, that's interesting. So it's that duplicate bug where the lore doubles after dying. Huh, I did see that once before when fighting, I think, Korn? It was, not in this campaign, but at least this way we got to see double the death animation, which is just lovely for those units that have real fancy ones. Anyway, you do good work, pets. Alright, there we go, and to shreds you say is once again the watchword of the day, as the poor ogres got torn to shreds, and without too much trouble. 18 losses over the course of the battle to our entire army, and if we wanted to, we could, I think we can upgrade these Yamaboro to Yamaboro Riders as well. Might be nice to upgrade a few of the units in these armies just because we can, and like the two Sora Spears to Temple Guard maybe, but anyway, well, we're not damaged really at all, so we are definitely going to take the money. These are not named Ancient Salamanders, but they did do good work. 38,000 and 42,000 damage, even against the Ogres. Some solid uniting. Anyway, release captives for the cash. And does that complete the mission? We didn't say anything about it, meaning it probably did not. Where were we? Which location were we at? Wait a moment. I don't see the Quetzalotus over it anymore. Victory over Korn, Garrison Commander Audacious, Stegodon for some guy, Settlement sacked, oh yeah, Slaanesh. Ambusher discovered, oh great. Huh? Why would we care about ambush? Okay, I don't know what that was or where it is, and I don't care. Red-crested Chief, I don't remember which one that is either. Anyway, Aratul Source Old Blood, oh right, you... Wait, actually I don't remember who you are. Whatever. I'm forgetting everybody. Crocky. I didn't remember Crocky. The sequence of vigilance completed. Brutal business. We should pick up that Skull Island. The kindness. Ah, yes. We do get the Quetzalotus. Beautiful. A great serpent has parted the ash clouds, allowing light to fall again on the jungle. Amidst the defeated ogres, we find a covered sleigh. There is a small and sickly girl inside. Though her vision is very weak, she knows that we are not her father. She asks to be brought to him. After a moment spent considering, the expedition chief orders she be brought to the outpost to be treated by our herbalists. Perhaps when she is older, should her health improve, she can be returned to her homeland. That was a weird ending to this story, but sure, why not? Alrighty. No, certainly not the direction that I thought that it was going, and I would have assumed that the lizards would have just eaten the human child, or, you know, killed it. I don't think the skinks would care that much, but who knows? It's a possibility. Then what was the point of the sleigh? Or like, I assume that it was talking about the sleigh as in the hag witch was there. Then what was the point of the hag witch? Unless that's actually the hag witch. Taking another form, being suspicious, who knows? Maybe it was just a coincidence that the hag witch was there, just leftovers from the last army like I surmised last episode. Anyway, let's get back to whatever it is we were doing. So to Henowin, I need you to do a thing, and that thing is... Actually, wait, I need to do... I'm gonna check something. We do have one Bahalis available to us. The thing is, I've been sort of wondering whether we should indeed remove a couple of the Serpod riders to put the Bahalis in. Again, I did like the suggestion because of the twin tail thing. I think I talked about it last episode or 10 episodes ago. I don't remember. And I'm still thinking about it, and I will continue to do so. For now, the rats have declared war on us, and we need to return to our own territory for a number of reasons. We could kill off Gentleman Jenkins with an auto-resolve, but I'm not sure that we care that much. And I'm also not sure that we can go... I mean, we could go after him. We do have one more turn of attrition immunity, though this is the best time, sort of, to take out these settlements before, you know... Yeah, you know what, let's not risk it. We have the attrition immunity, and I'd rather... Ooh, Matt Melton is here as well. I'd rather pick up these islands, sail to the wreck, and auto-resolve, a little bit more XP, and oh, damn, I should have spent the alignments. Again, alignments got me again. A little bit more money. And it looks like we are not going to get to materials at sea yet again. Turn 91 and we never got it. And we really could have used it in this particular campaign. The lizards have very expensive buildings. So, yeah. Meh. Alrighty, Gorok, I believe we were heading you out all the way to Galleon's Graveyard. You're a little bit damaged, but not so damaged, I think, that you can't fight. So go on out there, buddy. With your more or less complete army. And now, where can we spend some of those alignments? What do we have in terms of available troops that are of the Blessed variety? Blessed Saurus Warriors. I didn't want to slowly but surely replace the... where's Washti? Oh, here he is. Washti... I mean, I guess it could go here. We could have you take this before going up north. Or admittedly, we could have Digga or one of the others do it, because they're kind of... What do we have in terms of defenses here? Basically nothing. Alright, so Washti, you're probably going to be a little bit stronger than that. So you go up here. Washti, I'm going to have you follow in a march stance. We will delete one of these Saurus. Like so. And slowly but surely start replacing them with Blessed Saurus. Another way to spend some of those alignments. And that will be you. Of the mace variety, of course. As for what kind of blessing we need, we're not really doing much fire damage in this particular army. Oh, these two could also be replaced by the blessed variants. Once again, it's probably going to be Huan Chi. I don't know, it's just bleed is going to be better than lethal poison. Admittedly, the enemy does get... Yeah, I'm just going to take the bleed. Plus, it'll actually allow them to advance while in stock, just like the Chameleon Stalkers. Always Huan Chi, man. Huan Chi is the best. Who'da thunk it? You Digga, you're also going up here. Getting ready for your full armies. Latata, you're kind of holding stuff. Ah, okay, we got our eagles for the bird army, such as it is. You are going to take the eagles. And the rest of the stuff is... okay, well, keep the Archaeopteryx for now. I know I've been, like, punting them around from army to army, and we've been using them here and there. Wait, what did I do with the Kulkan? What the heck? A moment. Wait, no. We don't have any regular Kulkan, we have mostly Kulkan riders. Yeah, alright, so you're still waiting for your stuff from the expeditions. And fair enough. You've still got 4 turns? Wait, how's that possible? We completed 3 battles, and you've still got 4 turns? That's weird. Okay, that's definitely buggy, because it starts with 5 turns, and we fought 3 times. That means 3 separate turns for this army at this place. Did we not? Am I crazy? What is going on? Well, whatever. Yeah, you guys, you're gonna get your army in 4 turns then, so go here. And I might have to transfer those Archaeopteryx somewhere else. Now, are you... You're blessed by Quetzal, which is fine. As Latata, you... I like Scale Leader. We are actually gonna put you to use. So I say we reset you now in order to get you ready to command an army in a bit. Alright, whereas you can hold on to the spare troops, essentially, that are going to be transferred to some of these armies. Alrighty, let's start back from the top again, because I'm starting to get confused as to where we are, and where we were, and where we're going. What do we have here? 36 Old Ones favor. Let's get Secrets of Agents, then. That's fine. And then... wondering whether we should keep going through this line. Last episode I was thinking about going through this in order to try to get to Sequence of the Ether, but the little extra bit of character XP gain per turn is also really nice, so, yeah, no. And it's not a bad idea to pick up the cheap versions of that. Anyway, okay. Annoying as it is, we're going to go and retake the Fortress of Orag for these idiots because they're going to continue being incompetent. And did you defeat Grimgor? He had his main stack out here. Okay, well clearly you can't be solving all of these issues on your own because you'd be useless. Auto-resolve the AI for you. Occupy, and we're going to need to spend alignments again too. Yeah, war coordination target lost. Do we want to build anything for these guys? Probably not. Alrighty, now, Tlaqua. I assume that you can take the Sentinels, but you won't be able to until next turn, so you can channel. I don't know how you managed to have no mana whatsoever, but yeah, just go here, we'll attack it next turn. And then Tepok, I'd like you to keep identifying these territories here until we transfer to Tlaqua the... Now, Greyhag, anything interesting there? I don't see it. Until we transfer to Tlaqua the Lord Croak. We've already done this, so we'll auto-resolve you. Huh. It doesn't like the Mechapleurodon and the Saurus? Really? So the tanky units get killed, and then the super fragile skinks are fine. That's what you're telling me right now, game. Okay. Okay. I don't know, man. Stegodon for Hot Barber. I don't even know where you are. Is that one of these guys? Yes. Yes. I think somebody in the comments said that this is, that this means Kate Rhubarb, which is kind of hilarious. You could channel, and I think you shall channel. Yeah, and then go to Tor Helenar after. Oh, this was the tier 5. I don't collect the income as yet. Do we want defenses out here? Honestly, the enemy is in pretty bad shape. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. These guys are... Oh, I thought they were besieging it, but they're not. I really don't want them to take this, but they might need the Soglap if they do, but at least it won't be this entire province if we besiege it, so we can maybe leave them alone. Anyway, what was I saying? Alright, you know what, let's start going from the top again, because this is how I get confused. Mazda Conqua. What the heck are you doing? Are you some... Wait, why would you march stance towards these guys? Okay, this is just the AI being crazy, obviously. Maybe they're running from something? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, well, goodbye. Oh, you're... a moment. Are you able to use the ancillaries? I forgot what they're called, but the anti-Slaanesh ancillaries. Acolyte Mage? No. Astronomer Fan Waver. I really wish I could remember what it was called. Prize Hunter. It's not Rat Spawn. Sacrifice Scarred one? No. King Prophet? No. It's one that... Temple Keeper. Only Sking Priests and Oracles. Neither of you have those. Well, that's a shame. Alright, go after this. And they are going to steal one of the Yamaburo Riders, meaning if we auto-resolve it, the Yamaburo Riders will die. They're not unbreakable, are they? I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm wondering whether we should just, like, back off and do it again, but nah, we could just fight it. Kill all the rest of them real quick and just make sure we don't target the super expensive unit that we really don't want to lose. Go. Wait. Huh, they steal it with the banner? That's kind of annoying, too. How'd you steal our banner? So rude. Go. Alrighty, I'm sure the Slan is talking about how bad of a time the enemy's gonna get hit, and ooh, nice hits from the C-beams there. The Herald of Slaanesh and the Cult of Slaanesh both take massive amounts of damage. Looks like these guys are really good at smaller targets. Beautiful. A second hit to the cultist that delivers, well, brings him down to 10% of his HP, and then the enemy Herald goes down long before the enemy army reaches us. And obviously we are targeting other things as well. The Demonettes are being burned by the Nova engines. Our Salamanders and our Beams of Chotek are focusing down enemy Knights as well as the enemy Chariots. And we're keeping an eye out on the enemy Yamaburo, which are moving in on our left flank by the looks of it. Another nice hit from that C-beam. Looks like it only brings down the one chariot this time, but I do imagine it can penetrate through several. Oh, we gotta be careful about it killing Yamaburo because, again, don't get in the way of... Yep, that's exactly what I was concerned about. Don't do that. Alright, Yamaburo looks like we're shielded that time. And another one of those chariots goes down. Does look like those knights are about to reach us, however, but we've got our other unit of Yamaburo riders, which did not get seduced. Man, I can't believe these guys seduced our most expensive unit by a huge margin. And again, other than special units, I think these guys are the most expensive unit in the roster, which, you know, makes sense. They're basically Mournfangs, where they're more like Crushers, but anyway. Are they expensive? And they do good work, especially when you buff the heck out of them. Hey, a Cascading Fire Cloak moves them up to 87 melee attack and 100 melee defense. And it looks like the enemy army is already pretty much done. An extremely quick battle as, well, our range units dealt with most of the threat. And then our summoned Ripperdactyls were able to block off the enemy Yamaburo. Looks like a couple of them, or one of them, got killed by a stray shot from the C-beam, but otherwise we were able to preserve them, and thus they will go back into our army, hopefully at reasonable HP, assuming that they don't get destroyed because of the march stance, but I'm pretty sure we can get them back. Nervousness intensifies, anyway. Alright, oh right, I forgot to spend the alignments, good lord. It's every battle, damn it. Oh well, suffering from success as usual. Anyway, once again, the fire army obliterates the enemy long before most of them could reach us. Solid work out of our C-beams, one of them at 18k, actually out-damaging both the beams of Chotek and the... one of the ancient salamanders, all the regular salamanders, the Nova engines, and yeah, lovely, lovely. Putting it to good use and sniping the enemy's smaller targets with ease as well. Now, I assume that we get our unit back. I mean, the enemy were in march stance, which is kind of concerning, but yes, we do. Still a bad mechanic in my opinion, but you know. Forbidden Rod, and you can lose that. Razor Standard, we'll give that to somebody else, I'm sure. You, Tech Thief, have how many more turns? 9 turns are probably okay. I mean, I guess you can stay in Santiago for now, just because of the additional anti-corruption. We will head on Xianamen, and Mazda Conquer, you'll go into Lanfang. I don't imagine these guys will sell yet, but we'll give them a chance, do we, actually? I'm tempted to just auto-resolve it. We just fought effectively the same army, but, you know, with the Lord and stuff. They had Chaos Knights and they had our Yamaburo, whereas here they do not. I think we just auto-resolve it. I'm a little bit concerned about the medium casualties, but I think we'll be fine. I hope we'll be fine. Let's find out. Severe damage to one of the Blessed Ancient Sallies and both of the Yamaburo riders. Oh, damn good lord. I'm bad with the alignments, man. Why must it be only 100? Cupped Hands of the Old Ones is a pretty nice one. Miscast chance minus 50%. Solid on the Skink Chiefs as opposed to the Slan, I think, because, you know, less chance to miscast. On the Slan base, I believe, or at least it should be. Alignment to monuments, please. We will repair the harbor in this place, and we will delete. Actually, I mean, in theory, we could use some more capacities. You know what? Maybe keep those. For once. It's not like this place is kind of out of the way anyway, and I mean, there isn't too many super critical things that we need. Now, are you able to pay us for Tiger Cage Isle now, so I don't have to look at it every turn? 4,000? Go for it, I don't care. It's not enough money to be super concerned with. We got 2 more turns in the Confed, by which time the Slaaneshi will be gone. And who are you still at war with, out of curiosity? You're at war with the Rotten Knot. Would you... Oh, Nakai, rather. Wait, Nakai is at war with... Huh? Nakai's at war with Loish's Indulgence, but the Defenders of the Great Plan aren't? How'd that happen? Okay, weird. I would like you to join war against Grimgor, minus 06. What about the... Clans Rictus? Minus 2.2, 4.3k. Yeah, we can do that, that's fine. What about Scryer? 5.4. 11k, a little bit much. You're close to the Servants of the Blood Nagas as well. I'm not sure I care that much about it. This is going up to 5.6. This might be worth it if we can get him to... What about Cult of Tsin, whatever it is. It's a lot of money, I know. But he wasn't super inclined to confederate before, and maybe with all these additional war declarations, he will be more willing. This is the last territory of these guys as well. Yeah. Alright. Then we have... Actually, this is kind of pointless, but whatever. Ogre Kingdoms? Oh, those guys will just peace out with. Alright, I'm gonna give them all of this. Unless, wait. Can we join your war against Rotten Knot? That'll reduce the money a fair bit. Yeah, why not? I like it. Saves us a solid 5k, and it's not a faction that we're actually super likely to be fighting in the first place. Alright, thanks, Nakai. Maybe that will, A, make you friendlier with us, and B, make you more likely to confed. Alright, before I forget, let's do the alignments. By which I mean we need to find ourselves a nice... We do have the Blessed Chameleon Skinks, which we could do. I did want to get a more Riperdactyl heavy army, but it's not the most critical. I did also want to get the Kroxigor heavy armory, and we just sort of deleted the Kroxigor Lord. I guess the question is where we would put him. I mean, this is obviously a lot. They're probably the most powerful other faction we have, though. Oh, wow. Exiles of Khorne. Huh. They've certainly made their way out of the Badlands, and... Huh. Looks like the border princes have been completely destroyed. Karazakarak is just holding out in Karazakarak itself. Not that, you know, lizardmen care that much about what happens to dwarfs. I'm just wondering where we might like to build a Kroxigor army. Though I suppose those guys might go to Nakai. He might not actually have a lot of Kroxigors in his army, which kind of concerns me about getting rid of them right now. Alright, what other options do we have, just out of curiosity? Where else might we spend those alignments? We do have more of the flyers. Oh, I did want to put some javelin flyers. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was gonna make a javelin army with the Blessed Stags and some Blessed Skinks and what else is javelin-tastic? I mean, this should be good enough for now. Did we figure out whether there's any alignments that would be useful on these guys? So Tepok's Perfect Vigor is nice. We don't want to lose Stagger Shot, I imagine. Banish is fine, but it doesn't reduce speed, and we want the speed reduction. Frostbite reduces speed, well, less than Stagger Shot does. But again, I'm still unsure about how long it lasts. That's kind of the issue. You know what, we'll take these guys out in a battle and then we'll see. What about these guys? So you have basic poison. We could go for Tsunki with Frostbite, though we would already have access to it out of these guys. And we could go lethal poison, but that would... we might actually keep you as regular poison, which might be Blessed Spawning of Tepok. The problem with Sotek is that lethal poison would be applicable on the Parazors, which we would... or Parazor Riders. Admittedly, we might only just do 2 of them. I'm genuinely not sure where to spend the alignments then. Damn it. That didn't help at all. Okay. Blessed... Oh, wait, we should have another Blessed... Yes, okay, wait. You can get a 5th one, I think that'll be the last one, of the Razor Dawn hunting packs. And I guess we'll just give them all Blessed Spawning of Huanchi. I was actually kind of tempted to give them Blessed Spawning of Tsunki for more defenses, but frankly, because of their extraordinarily low HP, their melee defense doesn't really matter. It's not gonna help all that much. Yeah, fine. Let's double up on Huanchi again. There you go, even though they already have stock. Though, I might actually swap them out to a different army. Yeah, but he's our only life slan. Okay, yeah, you know what, whatever. Alright, Quetgar, you were down here for a reason, as I recall, and that reason was there was something else to be built here very soon. Was it just the stuff at Itza in 2 turns? You were kind of heading southward. I mean, we could go all the way to Dustgate, but it's going to take several turns, and I'm not sure I care enough to do that. There's a Temple of the Old Ones being built at Oe Shoals, so I guess, yeah, fine, just sit there. And you know what? Channel. That's a little better. Alright, well, that's Quetgar, and once again I started doing things out of order. Mazda Conqua and Tyrannicon. So you're fine, Ancianam is fine, Tyrannicon. You're going up here. we'll have somebody else take the monument to the moon. We'll probably need to send somebody to Ulthuan itself as well. Do we want to do that with you, maybe? We'll need to send at least 1 or 2 armies up here, 1 or 2 armies up here, or at least near them to prepare. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let's continue. Oshiutla, you... If you kill this guy, would you still be able to reach this place? Alright, block this army just in case. I don't know if it was, you know, part of the army that was running away, but I'd rather it not be able to move far. Kill. Auto-resolve. And hopefully we can still besiege. Just better not hurt our army. 0 losses, that's fine. Go for the extra armor. Then you presumably will now be able to besiege this place, and then I assume these guys will head to Soglap. I don't think they'd be able to win if they besieged it. Although... Huh. It seems that Bretonnians actually do build plenty of elite troops now that... Wow. They're just spamming Grail Knights and Grail Guardians. Huh. Well, good for them, I guess. Alright, well, I guess we'll besiege this. Huh, actually, wait. Do we have siege attacker? We do. You know, maybe we just attack this. Use the Bretonnians to help assault the place. I think we... Yeah, you know what, I think we're gonna attack this. We might still be able to go to Soglap immediately after, so I think we'll do that. I assume they won't be able to immediately go to Soglap themselves? It's kind of hard to say. I wonder, wait, we could block their army, though I don't know if that'll tank our reliability, and we still want to confederate Nikai, so I think maybe not. Maybe too risky. We shall see. It's not that I really care that much about these territories, it's just that it's going to create border gore if they own one territory, and it's going to be irritating. Anyway, Mazda Mundi. Still bothers me to have only 3. Okay, anyway. You now have available your guy, the Honor Guard. I clicked the wrong guy, my bad. Okay. Mazda Mundi is kind of hard to select in there. You know what, Mazda Mundi, you can go to Ulthuan. See if you can't find Marathi herself. You are going to grab the Honor Guard of Hishwatla. Take the Juradon for now. This means you won't have enough space for... Huh. Wait, what did I want in this army again? Oh, we want 1 more Blessed Temple Guard, but we also want a Saurus Scarvet in here. I mean, we could always use you to level the Juradon for now. How much? We got 6 turns into the Saurus Scarvet. You know, hold on to the Juradon for now, whatever. All good. Keep channeling until you're maxed out, and then you're heading to Ulthuan either way. Alrighty, and then you guys are kind of stuck where you are for now until everybody else gets here for more unit swappage. Alright, at least we're preparing to put everybody where they should be. You're fine, you're fine. Gortehe, you are... Okay, wait. Actually, that's a question. Do we want Gorok down here? If we were to declare war on these guys, we could have him fight them. We could move him into the Badlands and have him fight the Exiles of Khorne just because we can, although we used the Tomb Kings as a buffer state specifically so that we didn't have to do that. This is more of a problem because there is no buffer state again against the Cult of Pleasure. On the other hand, it would be more advantageous to us if these guys fought each other. The only annoying thing is that we then have all of these guys, which would be wasted. I mean, I suppose only one of them with the Beast Hunter is a decent one. What's our capacities? Oh, actually, if we deleted 4 of them, we would have capacity again, so we might still be able to get a few back up and running. Oh, got another healer one of these as well. That's good. That's very good. Alright, you know what? Maybe we get Gorok up and running. Oh, Krokgar, I keep... Yeah. Get Krokgar up and running there. I don't see it super likely that these guys declare war on us. If they do, we can build an army to, you know, fight them. But for now, we're pretty darn friendly. They're not even fighting the Order of Lore Masters anymore. They might not like each other a crazy amount, but they're not super angry at each other. In fact, who are you fighting? Oh, you're fighting the Exiles of Khorne. Yeah, see, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Anyway, yeah, I think I've decided on that. So we will summon Mr. Krokgar here. Alright, we'll build him some Saurus. In fact, you can probably use some Saurus Spirit. Well, I mean, yeah, he should probably have a Saurus mainline. I'm just thinking what other things we want to do with his army. Now, he wants to fight Chaos, Demons of Chaos, Chaos Dwarfs, Norscan, Beastmen. There are those to be found up north. I mean, really, he can fight anything. And he does buff Saurus to some degree. Cold One Riders and Saurus. We do have some spare Cold One Riders. Maybe a sort of Saurus variant army with lots of different Saurus unit types. Funnily enough, he does nothing for Temple Guard, but that kind of makes sense. Yeah, again, I find it a little bit weird that he buffs nothing. Wait, what? Why are Sauropod Riders here? I guess they count as Cold One Riders? Actually, if the Hellock Riders count as Saurus units, I haven't taken a look at them yet. Alright, fine. Get these blessed Saurus, and at least this way we can spend alignments when we need to. Maybe you'll get some of these. Do you count Horned Ones, I wonder? I see Cold One Spear Riders, I do see Blessed Horned Ones. Yeah, why not? Let's get you a couple of Blessed Horned Ones. Oh, wow, we're almost out of spawning sequence. Okay, just a little bit of expenditure there, right? Fair enough. Get you a couple of those. And, oh, that'll also mean you are definitely going to need a couple more of these. Phastilodon with the Reeve of Crystals. Honestly, you know what? Just build 4. I imagine that another army might need some. On the other hand, if we... You know what? We'll build a couple of Temple Guard for Gorok either way. And just for more variants of various Temple Guard and Saurus all there together for tactical flexibility. Might even get him a couple of Yamaboro Riders. But anyway, Izozam, yeah, you have some of these spares, so you can maybe transfer some of them to Gorok, depending. Gorteha, sadly, all of these guys will need to be deleted. Just double checking that they don't have... Okay, I assume they don't have items. Yeah. Alright. Sorry to see you go, Mr. Beast Hunter, level 13, but there... You know what, actually, you stay. You go up north. I'm gonna put you into an army up there. You guys can go, though. Can I not delete you one by one, or is it because this guy's moving? Stop moving for a second. Yes, disband. 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 And what trait do you have again? Sky Marshal. Not super useful to us, which is kind of ironic considering we're Tic-Tac, but yeah. Alright, go up this way. Looks good to me. Alright, a little bit of admin, but you know, we had to deal with some of this when we do these confeds. Alright, let's do building, let's end the turn. And let's start now. Let's start from the bottom again. Devouring Swamp. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll build stuff here. You know, build the Mystic Barriers temporarily. I don't know whether we'll need them or not. We do need the Geomantic Pylons everywhere. I do wish this wasn't so horrifically expensive. You know what? Start with the Skink Favelas. You know what? We don't really need the defenses. We're gonna wait until we have the construction reduction. Aranya's Glade, you're fine. You have defenses now, and oh, there's no more enemies nearby, so you're actually free to build this. Before you weren't, but you are now. Nalbar Country, you are going to collect money. And you're actually going to collect money, there you go. Keep building defenses, I want the entire place walled up, and I would like you to go for the... Yeah, go for the Geomantic Pylon. Alright, what about here? I don't know whether we're keeping the place, but just in case we do want to build defenses there. What about this place? Ooh, you can definitely collect income there. Tlaqua. And you can make more money. By giving us some Old One monuments. Might as well upgrade that Temple of the Old Ones, and we're looking pretty okay here. Plane of Bones. Oh, right, you're going to be traded, so we can ignore you, Bone Island. You're fine as you are. Black Fortress. We will trade you away, so I'm not going to bother with you. Imara Swamps. We will upgrade you. And get a few more capacities and a little bit of cash. Jungles of Green Mist. Yes to the building of stuff. Go figure. And an Old One monument, if you please. What do we have here? Another Temple of the Old Ones at the Tower of the Rising Sun, Ivory Road. We will build this place because, you know, gotta get those tusks. It is Ivory Road after all. What did I forget? I forgot to build the skink barrios there. Isle of Lions. We have the dyes, we need the Geomantic Pylon, and then I guess still the skink favelas. Looks okay. Keep making money. Craving Peninsula? I am craving a peninsula. Anyway, a Geomantic Spire. And... the place will only, I mean, actually this is useless here. We'll delete that. We will build the gem mine shaft at Tor Larha, followed by the skink favelas, and once again the old one monuments. Creeping jungle, yes to the gem cutter's workshop, and start up on that geomantic pylon, I guess. Upgrade you to tier 2. Build your favela, and keep on going. Spinosotek, Mine of the Bearded Skulls, go to tier 4. And we've got the Star Tower now. Geomantic Pylon is the obvious one, and followed by, I guess, another Shrine of the Old Ones. This is probably going to be a good place to build these as well. Let's start with the Shrine of the Old Ones. Anyway, Lizard Coast. We have a temple of whatever this was, and do we need defenses here still? Well, while these guys are on... Oh, that's what I could have done with Krokar. Yeah, we could do it with another army, I suppose. Alright, let's keep that at level 2. I don't think we need to invest in it right now. Old One Monument will eventually be useful here, so you can actually build it. And go for the skink barrios. Alright. Yeah, ignore the defensive structure. Tlaqua. You... I don't remember what I deleted here, but obviously since we got this from the Confederation, it was not necessary. The Old One Monument will be good here, so we will build you. Oh, we don't have the... don't have room for pools of healing or Star Chamber unless we forego both the Pyramid Vaults and the Krogscore Labor District. I mean, this place does generate decent amounts of cash. Alright, fine. Let's go for... Well, you know what? We could build one of them, because we have the Weapons Crafter's Commune to delete. And out of these two, I'm going to say the Temple of Reviv. So let's wait for 2 turns there, and then in the meantime, we can start building the Old One Monument. I think that's the best way to do it. Alright, Quixotla, you... What do we have here? We have both of these. We don't need the Weapons Crafter's Commune. Oh. So we could either build the Pyramid of Itzel if we wanted to. We could build a Crimson Pyramid of Sotek. Just for Dread Saurian capacity, since we don't have a lot of these. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Wait, actually... You don't have a... Okay, you know what? We just ran out of money. There is stuff that you can build here. Alright, so we'll forgo that. Let's just build this, and then we got other stuff to build once we have money again. You are besieging this. Because we are going to attack. In fact, we're going to attack right now. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Oshiotla ready to, well, maybe not quite observe, but also not do too much of the work, let's say. I mean, if the Warmbloods are going to fight amongst themselves, the Warmbloods of the Great Enemy and the, regular Warmbloods, we're perfectly capable of letting them do so, observing from a nice vantage point, and then whilst staying unseen, perhaps delivering a few sort of final blows, a few critical strikes to whatever enemies we need to. Alright, the enemy's got Grail Knights and all that after all, so why not let them put them to use? Alright, we're gonna break the gate open for them, and then we're gonna back off. And there we go, our 4 Troglodon's gonna book it on out of there, and it looks like the Bretonnians will indeed move on, and you're gonna probably have a difficult time moving through that gate. Oh, seeing all that cav kind of makes me want to play Bretonnia, but anyway. That's a big old pile of cav, and as I always say, I absolutely love Bretonnian barding because there is, I don't know, it keeps it all visually very nice and interesting. I noticed that they all have at least one part of their clothing and be green, and then that's their main color, because the mounted yeomen are all in green, and also their icons are in green. Oh, and I guess the white is their... Is green and white their color scheme? Yeah, interesting. Anyway, first ones are gonna go through the gate and... Ooh, Blood Crushers versus Royal Pegasus Knights and Royal Hippogriff Knights. That's kind of an interesting matchup. I would imagine in theory the Bretonnians should have this, especially due to the magical damage on their units. But we shall see. The enemy does have other units in to move in and help out. There's a Blood Reaper running around. There's that enemy Exalted Hero and a Chaos Lord, plus the enemy Soul Grinder. But of course, the AI has more Knights where that came from as well. Alrighty. I see a Minotaur fall, and more knights stream into the city, mounted yeomen and questing knights alike, all getting in each other's way a bit, admittedly, and as predicted. But you know, Bretonnians fighting in the sort of center of the map. That made no sense. Bretonnians, you know, relying on cavalry and fighting in a siege battle is what I was trying to say. I don't know where the center of the map thing came from. I got distracted watching them fighting, and yeah, I have a tendency to sort of speak in like a stream of consciousness manner, where I'm not always thinking about exactly what I'm talking about. A bit of a trance sometimes, but anyway. That snapped me right out of it, because what I was hearing from myself made no sense. Anyway, there's a Bloodthirster in here working together with some of those Minotaurs of Khorne, and that kind of makes me want to play Khorne, but anyway. And still plenty of knights remaining in here, though. Let's see, how are they doing in terms of damage? Ooh, would you look at that? While the Blood Crushers have been, well, crushed, the Soul Grinder... Oh, actually, no, the Blood Crushers do remain. They're severely damaged, but they sent both the Royal Pegasus Knights and Royal Hippogriff Knights back, and good job to that Soul Grinder. 7 kills and 9,000 damage in melee. I like it. And yes, we absolutely could be helping these guys out, but this entertains me. And I would imagine, at the very least, entertains Oshiotle. Cold-blooded logic on the Lizardmen, after all. No need to help. As long as we make sure that the great enemy is in fact destroyed. And I suppose some of the Bretonnian Knights are occupying some temple cities, sort of, so, you know. I'm not so sure about that either. Anyway, bounce power is at about 80% in our favor. Admittedly, once again, our units aren't really contributing, but now it's maybe time to send a few of them in. Oshiotle is going to move in first. Just through the gate, and once again, hopefully, and unnoticed and by the enemy. He's gonna set himself up to watch. There we go, and use that blowpipe of Tuhi to... trying to get the... It's always so hard to get the... Yeah, there we go. Get a good angle when on top of a wall like this, because the camera seems to, like, I don't know, drift or glide or something. Anyway, Oshiotle should be able to severely damage, hopefully, that Bloodthirster while it fights amongst the knights. Maybe not as much as our expedition chiefs would, but, you know, still probably well enough. He does have magical damage after all. Yeah, the Bloodthirster's down to 20% HP, though it has 41 kills and is now about to suffer a lot more damage. Our 2 Skink Oracles and our 2 Troglodons have arrived, and there we go. Oshiotle delivers the final blow to the big boy, and we switch our targets. There's Minotaurs, there's more Blood Crushers, and other such units. We can drop a Flock of Doom to help, and just from a distance, knock more enemies out with the combination of Oshiotle and the Troglodons. While they have ammunition. What are you doing? Sometimes there's a sort of preemptive, like, units have a preemptive sort of charge to them sometimes, especially bigger units like this. Whereas if an enemy targets them to move into melee, they will preemptively attempt to charge the enemy as well. It's sometimes annoying because it feels like they move in a little bit earlier, sometimes a little bit earlier, like we just saw there, than they really should be. Especially since I have these guys on guard mode. Anyway, gonna drop a Comet of Cassandora on the enemy. It looks like most of the knights have cleared out, with the probable exception of any ones that are unbreakable, which will simply fight to the last. And, tried to get the Skink Chief in here, but it looks like it's blocking all those knights from escaping. Not that there's too many knights left anyway that can continue the fight, and not that there's too many Core Knights left anyway. The enemy lord has moved on in, but, well... He's a Core Knight Lord, so I was going to say bravely to attempt to charge 4 Troglodons at once. But the bravery will not be long-lived, as the Core Knight Lord will be brought down, and the Minotaurs, I'm sure, will follow suit soon as well. Oshiotle will continue firing his blow darts down at the enemy, or at least attempting to do so. Would you look at that? A Exalted Bloodthirster has decided to distract him up here. I actually don't remember... How does Oshiotle function in melee? Does he just whack people with his stick? I wonder if he has any infantry execution animations in melee. Might be neat to see. You know, please whack that. There you go. Oh, no, he just smelled. It fell. I don't know why that amused me so much. He just bonked him with the blowpipe and he fell off the wall. Oh, that was great. That was absolutely fantastic. Okay, so he doesn't use the staff he has. He just bonks people with his blowpipe. The flailing arms of the bloodletter. Beautiful. Anyway, how are we doing? Bounce power's at about 90% in our favor. Our Troglodons took care of whatever units decided to move on. And of course the enemy, the Bretonnian Knights are still attempting to stream back into the city. Though we do have a few chameleon stalkers amongst them now, because clearly we can't trust the Warmbloods to do... don't send a Warmblood to do a cold-blooded job, is what I'm attempting to say here. The last of the Blood Crushers are just about done. A few more hits from those Troglodons. I see a few Knights dropping as well, but, you know, again, not our problem. Oh, and would you look at that? We got more Blood Crushers on the way. Oh, there's a couple more units of healthy Exalted Bloodletters. Probably should have sent them in to help out here. But all good. As long as the enemy is distracted, the Troglodons will tear through the Blood Crushers pretty darn quickly. There we go. One hit taking out 3. Very nice. Gotta love that anti-large effectiveness from the Troglodons. Maybe I should have put the Pale Death in this army after all. It's just that I figured that I mean, 2 Troglodons and 2 Oracles is already plenty. I generally don't like to go too heavily on, you know, ultra expensive, super powerful units. Same thing with like steam tanks and all that nonsense. What tier are Troglodons, out of curiosity? They're tier 4, the Feral Trogs, I mean. And though Skink Oracles obviously don't have a tier, they're probably a tier 5 unit. Because it's basically a tier 4 Troglodon, but it can also cast and hold items. Though obviously it also wouldn't, however, get red line buffs, so there is that. But anyway, I digress. The bounce power shifts about 95% in our favor. The Blood Crushers get torn to shreds by the Trogs, and it looks like the Exalted Bloodthirsters, Bloodletters, they wish, are melting away. One Soul Grinder remains, still on field, having dealt about 16,000 damage. Has taken the skull of many a knight, but apparently there's always more Warmbloods where that came from. I guess they were able to spawn a few more, and we saw some blessed spawnings amongst the Warbloods in the form of their Grail Knights. Alright, and Soul Grinder's down to a sliver of HP, maybe a couple more Knights with that fiery breath, but at last it will get brought down with a little bit of help from our Pterodon Riders as well. There we go. With that, okay, what are you doing, Korn? You really should have sent more of those troops in. Admittedly, they did do a good job against the Knights. Actually, and now thinking about it, I guess the Kornate army didn't really know where our Chameleon Skinks were located. We could have been all over the map, so it might have made sense to have kept some troops around there, because, you know, we could have moved on in from any side of the enemy army. Or the enemy settlement, rather. Anyway, it looks like we have to clear out a few more enemies, but we're going to do it ourselves because, well, you know, Bretonnians can't be trusted to deal with it. Though they have served well their purpose as sacrificial pawns to the Great Plan. And they should be honored for being allowed to do so. Alright, there we go. Again, back to channeling Mazdamundi here. Minotaurs will shatter, the last of the demonic units will melt away, and with that, the battle is ours. Okay, really, Bretonnians are gonna run from this last melting unit of Exalted Bloodletters? Come on, man. Yeah, well, at least Oshiotla will get a few extra shots in on them, and oh, they're gonna manage to chase down some men-at-arms with longbows, and ooh, they rip them apart so quickly. Look at that. About 2 seconds and 50% HP gone. I mean, it's peasants versus Exalted Bloodletters. That's bowman peasants at that versus Exalted Bloodletters. A bad time was had by them. Well, good job to this unit. They tore through them like nobody's business. And this is what I was talking about. Maybe I shouldn't have ignored them because I can't trust the Bretonnians to deal with them. Here come the Tiktaqto riders to help out. Mostly just to pin them in place and allow the rest of our units to close and, you know, help them along as they are in the midst of banishment, and we also don't want them to move away from Ashiotla, who basically watched this battle from up on the wall, but still doing, getting 41 kills and 11,000 damage. A lot of that, admittedly, was to that Bloodthirster. A little bit late to the show, ain't ya, there, questing knights? There we go. With that, the battle is done. Fun one, gotta say. Alrighty, there we go. Well, a couple of the Bretonnian Grail Knights died, and they died because they were unbreakable, whereas the regular Grail Guardians died, rather, because they were unbreakable, whereas the Royal Hippogriff Knights and Royal Pegasus Knights survived by virtue of not being. Otherwise, the Bretonnians did a good job in absorbing damage for us. Well, we afterwards came in and cleaned up with our Troglodons, Oracles, and Shiotla. Interestingly, one of the Troglodons looks like it did a little bit more damage than the two Oracles did. Good for them. A lovely little fight. Mostly for us, not so much for the Bretonnians, but hey, they got to die for their honor. So, a win-win? Sounds like a win-win to me. What do we have here? It's another tier 5, or former tier 5. We don't need the Ripperdactyl hatchery, at least not here. We will keep the defenses here. We'll keep the die. We can certainly go for the alignment to monuments and the Crocscore Labor District, and, well, we don't have the money for anything else, so while there may be other things, there won't be other things now. Now, before I forget, we are ready to end the, we're ready to end the turn. I wanted to, before we get another fight in with Gorok, finally name these turtles. Alright, so, you, first one, shall be Shell-Clad Bulwark. Wow, I can't spell. There you go. And then the U4 will be Leonardo, I guess there are multiple units. Leonardo's Donatello's. Feels weird with the S, but whatever. Raphael's. And Michelangelo's. I guess we could say unit Leonardo. What? It doesn't matter. I'm overthinking things, as usual. Anyway, let's name a couple more units. I think I forgot to do any naming last episode, though the episode before last, I think I did it between the episodes. I've done that a couple of times, but in this campaign, just to save on time in these sort of admin focused episodes, or more admin episodes. Anyway, Red Crests. You will be Sotex Scaly Boys. Like so, and because it's funny in this particular army, let's go for, let's say one of these Reeve crystals, or maybe it's funnier if it's an Ark of Sotek. You are going to be Skaven in costume, like so. It's a big trench coat to make there's a lot of Skaven with a Bastillodon shell over them. Anyway, let's name some of the, who do we have not a lot of names for? Definitely don't have any names for cold ones, as I recall, so you can be clever girls. Okay, why must I spell everything wrong today? What else do we have here? Cold One Riders. Yeah, let's go with Blessed Cold One. Spear Riders. They're not regular riders, but anyway, old ones on cold. What? Ones. There we go. Ooh, we can name one of Mazda's Temple Guard. You can be Shard Bearers. Like so. Man, I have like a billion Kulkan names, but we haven't had any additional Kulkan. Anyway, I think that's good enough for now. Let's end the turn unless I'm mistaken. I mean, there's a few tech thieves running around, but I think we're good. And the turn. Were we besieging anything else? Oh, I should have landed you because you can help decorruptify this disgusting Slaaneshi territory. But oh well. It'll be, well, it'll decorruptify a lot faster once we're over there anyway. Anyway, Techless, you're wanting us to declare war on the Exiles of Khorne. Now, you and the Tomb Kings fight that. It would be actually really better if you not only fought that, but, okay, oh, he's going to take advantage of the fact that when March stands and attack us? Is this what he's doing? No, we're not calling anybody to help. No, he's not. You had your chance, Noctis. I know that the garrison at the Galleon's graveyard is going to be a lot stronger. Yeah, it seems like enemy factions, as soon as we sort of get close to them, start declaring war on us. Like, Tehenwan was kind of near the coastline for the Clan Scryer, and then they declared war on us, but they didn't actually sail an army towards us, which is... Anyway, what do we have? We have no barrier on these guys, though I do like the barrier. Oh, wait. These guys already do have Frenzy, so you already have Blessed by Itzel, don't you? Actually, no. It looks like... Oh, wait, that might... Okay, see, I don't think that's Frenzy. I think that's another thing. Or is it Frenzy? Damn it, I wish I remembered. You already have magical attacks in this army, definitely. You know what? I'm going to say Blessed by Itzel. I just want to see... I don't think that's actually Frenzy. It just looks like Frenzy. Yeah, so Chitin Convoy, I just want to take a quick look at you. And that was this, Guerrilla Mindset, right? So, yeah, now they have that and Frenzy. Yeah, they should at least reverse the icon so it's going in a different direction so that you know, don't get fooled by it looking like Frenzy. You know what I mean? I know what I mean. That's what matters. Anyway, we have 40, eh? I mean, I guess we could just do Sequence of Determination. Yeah, alright, let's do Sequence of Determination, and then while we're gaining more, we can get one of these up and running. Maybe Saurus. And we're starting to get decent amounts of Saurus on field now, so maybe it's time for them to get that. Anyway, it does appear that Imric had, in fact, defeated Grimgor. I assume you won't be able to chase this army down, although maybe it's better that you do, because we can't leave these guys to their own devices because they're a bunch of idiots. Are you able to auto-resolve this? Yes, at least against the rats you are occupied. I do imagine Grimgor's going to be coming south soon as well, so yeah. Alrighty, we'll deal with that. Mostly we're just trying to save the delved incompetent, incredibly incompetent elves. I mean, I guess everybody here is incompetent because the Badlands have completely been destroyed and the Dwarfs have completely been destroyed. Empire's doing okay by the looks of it, though. Good for them. Auto-resolve. Oh, I should really put that Sun Standard on somebody. Somebody who's in the center of the formation. I'm gonna say... I was gonna say one of the Skink Chiefs, but I don't remember which one's the flyer and which one's not. Alright, I think the first one's the flyer. Wait, you have a lot of kills. No, you know what? You're probably on a dino then. Let's do that. Let's see if I'm right. The first one is... No, you're the flyer. Yeah, and you got... Huh. Weird. They're in different order here, but I did figure correctly about the kills, so we're good. Anyway, Ancient Steg for Digga, whoever that is and wherever that is. You need to channel... Good lord, what the heck happened to your mana? What? How did... okay. Must have been traveling in territories that were negative anyway. We'll give the Fortress of Orag to you again. Don't screw it up this time. I'm not even getting into a military alliance with you. You know, don't take their money or we're just gonna have to save them again, bunch of useless idiots. It just amuses me to keep insulting the elves. What with all of their arrogance and all that. Anyway, yeah, so these guys did back off after getting severely damaged, which is exactly what we were planning. You can now go to Soglap. Got one more turn until the next Confederation, and maybe we'll just be able to pull it off. If we can draw Nakai into... Want to resolve this? Yeah, I'll resolve it. If we could draw Nakai into a fight with a really strong faction like Marathi, he'll definitely confederate. And that's definitely gonna have to be one of the things we do. Anyway, Seasoned Campaigner, Shield of Talos, another Forbidden Rod. Nice find. Alright, we'll deal with the building later, or possibly I'll do it between the episodes if I remember. Anyway, Tech Thieves, come on down. Alright, so it looks like both the Slaaneshi and the Khornates are in bad shape here already. And in fact, wait, after the Dark Elves here, I guess we're gonna besiege, or possibly attack, I haven't decided. It does have a nice garrison after all. But it is one that we've already fought. You know what? I think we're free to just auto-resolve this. We fought essentially this exact battle, but better, with Black Dragons as well, several times already with this army, and we know we'd win. I was thinking of besieging it just for the purpose of, saving the battle for the end turn to make it a field battle, but I'd rather go find a new opponent like the Tzeentchins up here, but we'll go up there once we have the Mantiquta Riders. Oh, and we'll have to send, well, probably the Fire Army or somebody up to deal with the Ogres here, and then maybe another one to deal with these Imperials that don't like us. Bad idea not to like us, because that makes you a target. Alrighty. Otherwise, who was moving next? Washti. You. Actually, you know what? These guys, with the swapping and the moving and all of that stuff, I think we will save for next episode, as well as the attack with Gorok upon the Galleon's graveyard. So I think I'm going to call the episode here. I'll do some of that moving around admin in between the episodes with all of this. And we'll just start the episode off with the fight against the Galleon's graveyard. Plus, wait. Do we get rid of the Ceropods? Or do we get rid of the Kroxigors? I mean, they're nice, but we already have very high melee attack here. I'm gonna start by getting rid of the Kroxigors. And I would like... Let's see, is there... Okay, let's get... Oh. Alright, temporarily, we're gonna get you, Mr. Ratul, here. Then we're gonna move you to Hanowin, in like so, to trade them your one Kroxigor. It's a high rank, so I don't want to get rid of it. Then... we are going to hatch an egg. Quetzalcoatlus into Hanowin's army. Why you, Quetzalcoatlus, will be Avatar of Sotek. There we go. Oh, I'm excited to use this thing. Okay, well, we'll have to start using it next time around. You will be able to move right outside of Nuja, whatever. Or maybe even all the way to Magritta. And then put the big boy to good use. What does this do? Impact of Chicxulub, but we have a big ol' contact effect, speed reduction. I wonder how much damage this actually will be. 3 projectiles. I'm excited to see what kind of apocalyptic impact the impact will be. And we'll see about putting a couple of Bahalas into Hanowin's army, if we get a couple. Yeah, otherwise I'm happy with what he's got. Anyway, calling it here. Next time, more stuff, so stay tuned for it. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.